Before this video starts, I would like to quickly announce something. Many people that have been watching already know that I have a Patreon. I'm just asking that, all I'm asking of you is consider doing this. It's completely optional, and I have these different amounts that you could do: $2, $5, $10, or 25. For each, you get a little reward for each of those. I have 7 right now, which is absolutely fantastic, and hopefully I will be getting a little bit more support. And thank you guys for all of those that have been doing so. You could consider doing that. This is completely optional. If you don't want to be Patreon but still want to support this channel, you could do so by subscribing. So thank you and enjoy the video. Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. I apologize if I am a little bit winded or tired. I just came back from shoveling outside. We didn't see a lot of snow. We got maybe around 2 inches here in northwest suburbs of Chicago. We weren't the far northwest suburbs. We live somewhere by O'Hare, so we got 2 inches. The far northwestern suburbs got around 6, 7, but here we got around 2. And man, it was like this icy type of snow because it started freezing up, and I needed to use this metal shovel, and the metal shovel was heavy, so I am absolutely tired. I wanted to give you an update on this because it is absolutely astonishing, but at the same time very concerning for many that have school, work, any outdoor activities. We are headed into a very cold time period right now. We are expected to see temperatures approaching the negative, depending on where you live, but some in northern US potentially negative 20, negative 30, and wind chills maybe negative 60, 70 in some areas. Very extreme weather. And let's just go through this. So right now we are looking at 2-meter temperature anomalies. So this is not telling you the difference of temperature, or this is not telling you the exact temperature. This is telling you the difference of temperature from normal. So we go in time. Right now the cold air is still mainly up in Canada. There's not a lot here in the U.S. Maybe a little bit towards the south, but that's because of that system that brought in the couple inches of snow for our area at least. And we see this cold air just bitterly, blasts through so quickly that in fact it picks up speed. And there are actually blizzard warnings issued for Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, and into portions, I think, of Northwest Iowa. I'm not sure, but all the upper Midwest is supposed to see blizzard conditions. And this doesn't mean heavy snow is headed their way. Just it's going to be a ground blizzard. The snow that's on the ground is going to be blowing around. And as long as the winds are 35 miles or greater, visibility is reduced, I think, under a mile for 3 hours or greater, and there is snow on the ground or falling, then that is enough to qualify it as a blizzard. And we see, look at that, this cold air definitely deep. Look at that, negative 36. That's not the temperature. That is how the anomaly of the temperature. That is how much below average it's going to be. So that's not the actual temperature. It's going to be negative 37 degrees below average. So if your average is 30, you will be at negative 7, that specific area. So this moves out very stubbornly. And let me try zooming out of this so I could have more of the United States encompassed in this, because I know that I'm only showing the northern U.S. But we see this pass through very stubbornly over time, gets out, but makes way. You see this gradient right here? Storms love to it's like a highway for storms. So they go up around the high pressure, which is producing these above average temperatures for the west, and it just dives right through here. It kind of finds a loop, like a sneak hole, kind of sneaks right through here, and it could drop as much as 6 inches of snow with this particular storm here in northern Illinois and Indiana and Iowa. So that's definitely something to watch. We could be looking at another winter storm heading into the Midwest, and impacting the Midwest with several inches of snow. That is around the Monday, Sunday timeframe of this upcoming weekend. We go through, again, we see that baroclinic zone. That's what the technical term is, the 1-2 air masses, the zone between them. And we see another reinforcing shot. And this one could be even greater and badder than the first one. Look at that. Potentially negative, below 50 degrees average, negative 50 degrees below average, not 50 degrees below Fahrenheit. That would be ridiculous. But definitely some of these numbers with these anomalies will be fairly ridiculous. So you're probably eager to see the actual temperature. So I'm a little bit new with this interface right here because there we go. There's temperature because tropical tidbits is you can see the Levi is having the whole website. The data downloads are very slow, and he's trying to retrieve the data. So he does a great job. He's wonderful. I should probably give him more credit, but I'll be posting the. It's called Tropical Tidbits, a website I usually use. This one, Pivotal Weather, is also another great website, but I'm using it instead because that one has troubles the with retrieving the data. So let's go through in time. We're seeing already chilly temperatures across the U.S. And we can see that's where the snowpack is, and it's going to be. That's why it's a little bit cooler here. And then here it's warmer. Here it's warmer, but here it's cooler because that's where the heaviest snow fell. And where the heaviest snow is, the biggest snowpack, that's typically where it's coldest. And look at this, guys. The temperatures, this is the actual temperature, not feels like. They're showing here Friday morning. I'm not sure. I don't think the GFS is 100% on this, but look at that, -13, -15. Very, very, very chilly conditions, especially the further up you go. Look at that, potentially -30 up by the border of Canada and Wisconsin, Canada and Minnesota. And this, eases, I guess, but still bitterly cold temperatures. And anywhere you see that blue, that is a 32-degree line. And look, it gets down all the way far to the south into states like Florida, into regions like the southeast. We get a brief warm up, and that's where the storm will be occurring right in this section. We'll be bringing up slightly warmer air with it as it goes through this baroclinic zone, but then quickly gets pushed out and it moves out and the cold air comes in. And look at some of these temperatures, and this is just an absolute ridiculous. I rarely we see such really cold temperatures. Now this is uh the actual temperature. Look at that, -41, -37. This isn't the 2 meter. This isn't the anomaly of how much below average it's going to be. This is the actual temperature. Again, do I think it's going to be this cold? No, because the record for Chicago is -27 degrees. And right now, as you can see, it's -29 forecasted. And the record has been there since the 1980s, and it most likely will continue to be there. But I'm not saying that no records will be broken, but I'm saying that I think the GFS is a little bit overdoing it with this cold air mass. But it's better to overdo it than underdo it because it will get people more prepared for what's to come and definitely get them more alarmed. But very, very, very chilly conditions. And afterwards, we may get start warming up into a warmer pattern into early February. But we still have to see about that. It doesn't really look that good in terms of it's still very far out and doesn't look that good for warm temperatures across the east. So let's quickly go to the Climate Prediction Center 6 to 10 day outlook, and this is not including the outbreak that's gonna be occurring this Friday, this Thursday, in the next 2 days. This is what's gonna happen afterwards, and all the way through Groundhog Day, February 2nd. And you can see they have almost 100% confidence in it being below average. Uh, this is not really how cold it's going to be. This is how great their confidence is. This Climate Prediction Center is in it being a below average, and almost, I would say, 2/3 of the U.S. at least is below average in the blue. And then California mainly, and parts of Nevada, Arizona, Washington, Oregon, and Washington will be above average. And precip, you could see where it's the coldest could be actually above average. So guess what that means? Lots of snow headed for the Northeast and the northern U.S., while it's fairly dry for the central U.S. and southern U.S., which is essentially a good thing, especially if you don't want snow in the South. But if you want snow in the South, I don't know about that. We could definitely still see a system developing in the South, but and produce snow, but it maybe not as much, obviously, as to the north, where it's going to be above average and very cold. 8 to 14 day outlook. This is further out. Obviously, the confidence would decrease because it's further out, but as you can see, it shifts a little bit further to the east and gets pushed out by this warm air. The warm air at this point is extending into already Nebraska, Kansas, and portions of Texas. While the cold air is, again, the baroclinic zone right here would be right between these two air masses, cold air mass and a warm air mass. And now let's go to the precipitation probability. As you could see, that we actually see above average conditions for much of the U.S., especially the northern and northwestern U.S. So that could mean quite a bit of snow for the northern U.S. in particular, where it overlaps with that cold air, but drier across the east, southeast, and the Four Corners area region. So sorry about that. let's quickly go now to. I don't have this. Sorry, didn't mean to move the microphone. I want to go to windy.com. So this is where I use my European model from, since I can't access it on. I could access it using weathermodels.com, but I don't have that website. I need to pay for it. So I may be getting that in the future though. So let's go to new snow and let's see what the European. I won't show you the temperatures because it's a very tedious process. Um, this interface isn't the best. It's very slow to load, at least on my computer, my Chromebook, which I hopefully the audio was a little bit better, because today I do have like the older device that I used to use. Not the best one though. And you can see a little bit snow. The Great Lakes, the lake effect machine will definitely start cranking. And then this is where the snowstorm can occur right there. And most likely we'll look at that. Potentially quite a bit of snow, guys, up to, this says 11, 10 inches, which I'm not buying that 100%, but there could be some snow. And look at that, even some snow in the south, Tennessee, northeastern Arkansas, maybe a couple of inches. With this cold air mass, everything is possible. We are going to be experiencing some very, very, very chilly conditions. And with that, precip will turn into snow. And look at that, some of those amounts in the lakes, by the lakes, over 2 feet for sure, especially by off of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. And so this is Lake Erie, that's Lake Ontario. This is basically it for today's video. If you'd like to support this channel, you could subscribe. Again, if you want to become a patron, you can do that. And I'll catch you all guys in the next episode. See ya. Bye.